Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday morning, at least when I'm recording and showing this to you guys. Hopefully you're having a great day, whenever you watch this. And we are here today with a Thursday, technically journal with me, a day that I normally do. So what's a better day than today to do a handmade reveal? Tuesday was digital reveals, and today will be finally the final flip through of these lovely companion journals that we worked on. Gosh, 2 weeks ago, I started this project with this lovely junk journal and the fabric and the Amazon flips and or covers, and did a couple shorts last week showing you some progress of decorating. But due to technical difficulties, I couldn't get anything else out. So today I'm going to show you the finished product. Here, this is Jolene with a Jewel Design, because I realized I think I totally passed that up. Why not? Just too excited. No. Trying to keep things done when you have such a short window of time in between your daughter's classes, you'd make sure you make the most of each moment. So today we are here on a Jewel Design and the Thursday edition. Of course, everything's beeping at me. Okay, good. That we are going to show off some finished handmade projects that I started in the beginning of the month. As we finish February, literally we only have a few more days to go. And get into March. I wanted to show these off before they are listed and put up as a cute little set up on my Etsy shop, which, as you show down below in my description, there will be a link, of course, to all of my social media endeavors, including my Etsy shop, where you can go take a look at these, as I'll do my best to take photos of them. But I'm hoping today I'm zoomed in enough that we can, look at these and really enjoy. Hold on one second. I just realized I didn't turn some things off. We don't want any interruptions or cutoffs. I've already tried this once before, and I do not want to do this again. Take two is always good, but all right. So these are my companion pieces. They're my little junk journals. They're not tiny, because tiny would be like a portion, like even a smaller portion of this. This might be almost considered tiny. It's borderline. I think it could be a little smaller. Treasure Books makes them, I think, just a smidge smaller. She does them awesome. And so this is probably the closest thing to a tiny journal we could get. But I like to think of them as small and petite today. These are the small and petite companion pieces, and they are a little bit yin and yang. There are things that are in one that aren't in the other. So it made it fun when I was working on them. When this one has the lace and the decoration on the front, because the fabric wasn't as vibrant as this one, we decorated up a little bit more. This one has something sticking out the top. This one has stuff on the side. So, of course, their rubber band enclosures, of course, show that. We want to put one horizontal here, not to scratch this, when this one has a nice vertical band so we don't crunch up all the fun stuff on the side. No bangle on this one. There's something on this one. Things like that. Everyone has something different according to their size, and they're a great companion piece together. So let's see which one. We'll have the big one first, and then you can see the things that we didn't do, in the big one, and we try to do in the little one. So it starts off with this little dangly ordeal. It has ribbon and lace and like cheesecloth and one of my favorite fabrics. It has has a charm beam that actually came from some earrings that fell apart on me. And so I was like, well, oh no, not from earrings. It came from a bracelet. It was really pretty, but it finally gave. The chain or the string finally gave one day. So I put it in my collection and went ahead and did something, sewed a little bead on it. And it's just attached with a bowl pen into the fabric, nice and easy. Now this one does have some charms on the outside and the inside too, of course. It started off with just some charms off the string that we sewed it in with. And, it says handmade with love, and has some cream and some brown and clear beads on the end of that one, which I haven't done as often. And I'm really starting to pull and look for, all those fun doohickeys that I have to figure out, what I have to help decorate stuff with. Now, this one does come with a cute ordeal. I try to talk about it, and I don't have no clue if it ever came up. As I said, I had some difficulties. So some things I may refer to, and you'll have no point of reference. So sorry. We'll try to cover that by doing this today. So hence why I'm doing a full, really major flip through, so that I can talk about all the fun little things I did that I wasn't able to share with you guys. So I took a Starbucks stir straw, which I cleaned, of course, and put flowers on the top on both sides, because the top of this is decorative, but it's also the logo. And since we're not doing a coffee themed book, I didn't really want to show off the coffee, though. My friend at handmade by Just Gigi, made a cute coffee kit, and she got a hold of a bunch of brown stir sticks, or stoppers, if you want to call them, and they had the cutest coffee image on the top, and so she just decorated the bottom and made them cute little, like, ephemera pieces. So it gave me the inspiration to decorate the top of it and make it a bookmark. So these journals can be written in, but they're not a daily thing. They're just little tidbits of memories or gratitudes or just little thoughts. They're a great way to document, like, things that you love or remember about the person maybe you're giving these books to, because I think these will make great gifts. So I'm using the same stretchy elastic string that we used in the Heroes in Retro TN journal. I had it in blue for that, and we used it to help bind in the pages for that journal. So today I'm using it just as a belly band. Not belly band, that's what it feels like, right? It's just an enclosure, thing that'll help keep this together so it doesn't just stay there popped open. Unless you want it. You may want it on your desk or on your nightstand, and you're going to want it to be all, like, crocodile-y and fun, right? And you may like that look, and that's totally awesome. Find a different spot. Then you could just really put it on the front, on the first page, and not worry about it. Just leave it there as a decoration to the front, and you don't even have to close everything in on it. So we start off with a number of pages. I will put up in the link here. Yeah, maybe the end screen, as we say, as I finish off. There's always a video referral, and I will mark the starting point on this one, so you can see sort of like what got me into doing what I was doing with this one, which then led, of course, to scraps for the other one. But I went ahead and did sew in lace into the cover when I went to do the final stitch together of the fabric cover over a little. I bought some jewelry or something, and I got one of those little pink bubble envelopes, and I trimmed it out, took the one side off the other one. One covers here, the other covers there. Because the inside went away, I cut it, ended up being smaller, so I ended up with a smaller journal cover, right? So glued on one side of the fabric, turned around, glued on the other, and sewed it. Which you can do a number of ways. Like Treasure Books sews on the first piece of the cover, then glues on the back side, and then uses that same hem to do the secondary. So she sews both sides in separately. I glued them down, and I figured they weren't going to go anywhere, so I was able just to sew it once and add in the lace while I was doing it. Just glued just a little bit where I needed to, and then went over with the sewing to keep it from going anywhere. Then I started adding in all the papers. This is a old digital large, one of my first large tags. I thought would be fun. It has writing over it from a vintage note of some sort. Anyways, I think it was part of the either Pink Shabby Christmas or Pink Shabby Rose journal kit, I want to say. So, but I did find some pink lace. I added a flower to it because it had that hole there for the hole punch. But I don't want to do that. And went ahead and just stamped and inked the inside so you have writing room. And there's little bits like this throughout the whole book that allows you to write a note to the person you gave it to, a gratitude, a prayer, anything. There's a bunch of little areas for little things that you could fill in when you gave it to the person. Or you give it to the person who sort of likes the idea of journaling but doesn't have all the time in the world, and you can let them know there's little moments that they can fill in for whatever. Their birthday month, for Mother's Day memories, like whatever you give it to them for, they could sort of, journal, memory keep little things in these areas. And so there's a number of them throughout that I just distressed and stamped. So then there's a double-sided journal card. They came in Happy Mail. You saw in hopefully my under 10 short, the decorating of this little pocket, and one of my first, these are from my Travels journal kit, Traveler's Journal Kit, that had all kinds of fun little tidbits of ephemera in it. And then, of course, just clustering a number of different things from all of my kits. Distress the ripped edge, put some lace on it so it'd stand out. Another piece of paper was a digital that was just a quick print off of something. It was like a mishap. And not one of mine. I don't even know whose it is. It was something I think I was testing out for my mom. She was having problems printing something, so I went to test it. And it's really pretty. So it was something that sort of went with the cover, so I just distressed it, cut it, and laid it out. So there's definitely another journaling moment. This is a white index card, so I distressed it a little bit. We have that really thin paper. It's almost like a parchment paper, but not quite. So I just went ahead and, the whole goal of this was to start clustering and decorating every little page so that there really wasn't so much a writing journal. It was just something pretty. So when you make them tinier like this, it's easy to decorate and have no writing space whatsoever. But this was one of my linen papers. So I wrote the word story and put a little tab on it. This was another piece of thicker scrapbook paper. Okay, one of my fancy ones I had cut off from the cover to one of the Valentine books. I had this on the cover, and so this was a scrap left over. So again, another writing spot. And I used my stencils and I used my stamps. If I had floral stamps or I had my floral stencils, I just used the vintage photo ink, distressed it, did some, light stenciling or a stamp, stamped area like this one. I have a number of floral stamps that I love, and so I just went ahead and decorated those pieces so they weren't so bright, pale white. There wasn't a distress. There was a stamp moment. So, but there is some writing space in here, more than I expected, just because I think I ran out of time and energy. Like I thought I had enough to decorate with it. I realized I'd have to find so much more. The fun part was I was cutting out a bunch of circled items one day, and I had this strip of paper left over. So I cut it nice and cleanly and put it in my stash, and it ended up being a wonderful sort of horizontal belly band. Instead of doing our vertical belly bands where we stuck to the side, I went horizontally so you could drop down into. And I had them at first just stuck in here, and I felt like it was so blah. And so I went ahead and started gathering labels and words and scraps and created this sort of pocket so that you had a sort of belly band that dropped down but didn't fall through, and then it ended up with that second little pocket in the front. So I thought that was absolutely adorable. Now I'm probably going to go take a moment and find some more fun little embellishments, and I'm going to sneak them in there. So whoever buys this will get a surprise for some extra little goodies, embellishments that'll be in here. Because I still think it's a little light. I feel like it should use a little bit more. So it will definitely be the surprise to whoever buys it, all the extra goodies. And those may show up, of course, in the photos if you preview it on the Etsy listing. We have our doily. We have this just writing paper, again, stamped it, stenciled it, distressed it, and this time it gets sewn around the edges because we want to make sure this middle signature has a little bit more weight. And that the pockets are sewn in just in case anything comes undone. It's not a complete woohoo, flap around. And I did put in, put little things to decorate. I used some of my stickers from my kit. I have some botanical sticker sheets. It's under the sticker section because at first I thought it was going to be a lot of sticker sheets for everybody, but they ended up being small embellishments for all of you. We realized that small stickers and embellishments are very much the same thing. It just depends on what paper you put it on. These were on sticker paper, so all I had to do was glue down underneath it and put the stickers right on top. But I put more tickets, I put stamps, I put small mini embellishments from my traveler's kit because I just like the coloring of them. So I thought they were great. So more labels. This is from the Cottontail kit. This is from my 50 Shades of Purple, and then I added more stickers and washi to it again, just to decorate up the journal card a little bit, to let you, play with something. And there's a doily. And then this is the other half of this one. Now this one is simple and just torn. This end has the trim, the sort of lacy trim on both ends, both sides, right? And ended up being a great little addition to this side of the pocket. So this one, again, just had this tag, clothing tag decor in it, and it just seemed really blah. After working on this one on camera, I felt I wanted to sort of duplicate it on this side, but this one has, an extra layer. So we put another it's not a full pocket, it's just sort of gives that feel of one, and helping keep this tag from falling straight through. So I love the things, you pull it out, there's some layers here. This one's just, it's not really a card, but it's a tiny little thing. Maybe you just put a word on the back of it, or a name on the back. But I definitely went ahead and used a clothing tag, because I like to say that I love the back. It says a new day, and just went ahead and decorated it just a little bit and left the string on it. So you could have it as something sticking out as a little bit more, oomph. Another page. This one was fun. This was the other half. The other one says story with a tab on it. This one is just fully decorated up. I went ahead and collaged things up. I've seen so many ladies do these gorgeous collages with a whole different genre of journaling. And, I had to see if I could replicate any of it, of course, with my own stuff. So we have stamps and papers. This is all from my little mini embellishments from my mini embellishment kit. And then, of course, paper, just book pages and whatnot. So that was nice. And it's sort of, no, on this end you don't see it. It's just white on the back. So no fun on that end. But it is, I just love the color combination. I love purple and green. So we get more paper. Went ahead and just put a little washi on the back side of this one since the other one was decorated. I guess I didn't touch this one. This is really, it is open for a note. Really is. I left those be. Other half of that, which is decorated on this side. I tried to remember to start decorating on the other half of these things so there wasn't all just on the right side. So another cluster and ribbon. Back side, a little, again, a little washi of lace paper. More stampage. And then we have another card in the back. And the cards, both of them, front and back, come from the Wild Botanical kit that I have. And Botanical 2 Wildflower Gardens. So, there we go. So, yeah, I want to add a few more little embellishments to it. I think I'm going to see if there's any other more pockets to tuck into. I feel like I could use a little bit more in here and maybe in here, and you never know. So that'll be a fun little thing for whoever buys it. They'll get to see a little bit more with it. And like I said, it's not a huge journaling thing. It's really just more for decor, but it has those moments. So if the person who got it did sort of write in it, maybe they just wrote a moment or two and they're waiting, then all they have to do is put their little bookmark in place and they'll know exactly where they left off. So I thought that was sort of cute. Not that the bookmark has to stay in here, but it's just a fun addition to put on just about anything, anywhere. So my jewels, my jewelry thing keeps popping to the other side. But I love my little dangle and stuff, and I thought it's just I think it's cute and small and sweet. So with that though, with sweet, and cute, small and sweet, we had to go, well, my idea of tiny, I guess. So we'll go petite in this sense. And so this time, instead of putting a bookmark in it, I put the flower combination right on top with some lace and some ribbon because, yes, this one was more muted. It didn't have that same dark, bright colors this one has. And so I wanted to have something to decorate the front. And I couldn't find the right lace in the end. And I'm looking at it now. I probably could have put this lace over this one. But I just had a hard time covering it. I just couldn't find anything I wanted to cover that with. So this one I love that it's just a nice addition of the contrast of the white with the lighter cream to have things pop. Now when this one I put the trim on the outside piece of paper, which I haven't done yet, but this is like it feels like a waterfall journal. Like each page I open is going to be longer than the one before, and it does sort of pan out that way, and then on the back side it goes the other way. But I didn't quite do an honest to God waterfall, which that may be fun one day if I actually get a point where I have so many pages. I want to do a really eclectic waterfall journal. That might be fun. But in this case, instead of going horizontally with it sticking out, I decided to go vertical. So our middle signature on this one actually sticks out instead of, sticks up instead of out. And again, I was able to sew in when I did the same thing, glue on the front, glue on the back with that crunchy bubble wrap inside, sewed around it again, and was able to get little pockets in the front and back, which is where I want to add some more embellishments for sure. But we went ahead and decorated. I don't know how much of a glare you're getting. Gosh, I hope not much. I went ahead and started decorating again. We have the pinky sort of avocado paper with the green stuff. I put one of my butterflies on top, a word, some washi, and pearls. Now this one is that paper that you get in a lot of our packaging now. There's a number of companies that don't use plastic air pockets. They're starting to use more and more paper, more of that paper bag paper. And so I had a strip of it, and I went ahead and collaged all the way around it, all the way to the other end. So I went to town on every scrap I had, every piece I had, and just started to layer. I had so much fun. Anything that worked. And then put stickers, of course, and washis over it, stamps it, butterflies, just made it stick out, which I love when you first open this. There's just so much color right here. You have all this color. Well, this one's a little bit more subtle. Definitely the yin and yang of these two. The companions are definitely, tiny and small, vertical and horizontal, and, all those little things where they definitely have some yin and yang, I feel. More scrapbook paper, thinner set. This is a strip left over from one of my collage papers. So I went ahead and put stickers over it, front and back. Again, this is some eco-dyed paper that I bought. And so I went ahead and did, again, washi tape, words, embellishments, just decorated it up. That strip paper that we have in here, we have a scrap of it left here. Then the center of this one, collaged again, on all the way around the front, but at such an angle that we ended up with a pocket here and a pocket here. And then I did some paper lace I had a paper lace sticker, or sort of geometric that I put across the top, just so that when it stuck, it stood out. And then inside it, when I used that same light paper, I was able to sort of help reinforce it by putting that same pattern sticker on the pocket. Added some more embellishments. These are, again, from the Traveler's journal kit, which I believe it's ephemera on one set and papers on another, so they are two separate entities. I don't think I combined them. I think I kept those separate because they really are very different from each other, but go well together, which is funny. So, the backside, again, another one of these little guys. Aren't they cute? They were supposed to be on camera. You were supposed to be able to see those being clustered together, and it didn't happen. But they were just cute. They were little strips. They were cutouts, again, from my collage papers. I had these little end pieces, and so I just cleaned them up, distressed them, layered them up, and, made little, I have a hole punch cut of the dragonfly, and I had stamps, and I just had fun with it. I love the other one, too, because it's sort of teal. I like how the teal worked on the map sheet that I had in the circles and stuff. So you got the teal there with the red, so it's a nice contrast with the two. And then of course you just have pink and purple and all that fun stuff, all that jazz. But these were, again, just the back sides stamped, a little bit of writing space if you want it. But I thought it was sort of fun when I was clustering it, how up at an angle, sort of something different, and then sewn it in as a middle signature. Which just then when sewn in, it was a very short. I didn't quite judge it right, so there's no dangles on that one. I don't really want to stick it up too much with just to put a gem inside it. You go back the other way. Let's see, I'm trying not to turn the side. I'm facing me. You guys can't see anything, but it faces me. So it's the other side of one where I just put more floral stickers and washi to decorate. Again, decorate this one. This is one of my kind ornate ornamental word sheets, which I love cutting around the edges, like sort of following the grooves, the curves of the border. And I love how it looks. I mean, perfectly square and distressed is gorgeous too. But it's one of my favorite things to do. I love, and I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, but I love following sort of the groove of the frame of the word. And I love how it turns out when you cut it. And then when I made this, I had a strip on top I had to cut off. And it happened to be the perfect height, I guess, when you were done. It was a width, but went perfect height for the edge of this one. So when it's clustered on this side with nothing more than just a lot of scraps, I was able just to do a little something feminine on this end and added some pearls to it. Whether I almost want to put like something stamped big here. Maybe I'll do that. So maybe a few little surprises when you get this. I'll try to add anything to it, and then the photos will represent it if I feel like it's really something big or it turned out really great. If not, it'll just be a surprise for you when you buy it. You'll be like, oh, I didn't see that. How cute is that? And then the last page, though, since I clustered the outside of that, I felt like the inside of it had to be clustered. And this was a lot of fun, just adding, again, the pink with the green and the purple, washies, numbers, and paper. I was trying to make sure these felt more collaged, more, grouped together in this little book compared to maybe that one where it was not quite. I don't know if I didn't collage in that one as much. But each little book definitely has its own personality and what it led to. This one was definitely done last Thursday. I put it all together when I was having a day. As I mentioned on Tuesday, that our poor puppy passed away last Wednesday. And so Thursday was my day to craft. I couldn't design anything. I couldn't get through anything. So I just sat and crafted. I had to get this one done. And I needed to fine-tune this one and, do all its little bits. And so it was a great therapy to put these together and just sort of get out of my head and craft. So it definitely had its own little mindset when I put it together. So, got through the day and was able to craft my little heart out. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our companion journals, junk journals, with my scraps from paper supplies and scraps of digitals that as I go along and do. And they are definitely a companion piece of a little bit of a yin and yang, though they have the same theme. They have little things that make them different. So they're a great set to give to a friend who's just starting, who wants to put something cute and little on her workbench, her desk, just to look at. Another one could be great for tiny little memories, gratitudes, And maybe a friend has lost someone recently and you give it to them and they could write those little things in it. Their mother's favorite saying, the favorite memory of cooking or baking or whatever memory with their mother or aunt or sister. It could be that you have it and you put your favorite memories in it and your favorite things about that person. And it's a wonderful personalized, it's bigger than a greeting card, but it is. It's like a greeting card, right? So instead of just saying, oh yeah, I love you, happy birthday, maybe put a little bit more meaningful things in those blank pages and hand it to them as a, elaborate greeting card to wish them happy birthday or happy Mother's Day or, whatever it may be that, and however they mean to you. Wonderful little gifts, right? So maybe you keep this and you put a little few things in it. Maybe you add a little more to it and it's on your desk. And because I have stuff all over my desk that are just things that are made, that have been made for me. And I just want to look at them all day. And so they're set up on my outer edges where I can just look at them for inspiration and memory. So maybe this is a cute little thing that just sticks out as a decoration and you can flip through it whenever. When this one I think is a great gift for someone to write a little something in or to write something in it for that person to let them know how much you love and care and appreciate them. So thank you so much for joining me here, Jolene at A Jewel Design. I hope you caught on Tuesday. I hope you'll come back next Tuesday. We have a lot going on. Like I said, at the end, I will revert you back to the making of this one, the base of this one, if you're just curious on how I did it and where I got my ideas from. And then, of course, there are 2 shorts within my journal with me. If you look up my yellow banner, there are 2 that say shorts under 10 that show little bits of just how I collage and fuss through some of the decorations of this one. But hopefully the next couple series will be better put together and less technical difficulties, so you can see, because we have a lot coming up. And I definitely suggest you go back to Tuesday's digital reveal, because I mentioned all kinds of wonderful things that are coming up in March, since this will be the last video of February, because the last day of February is Monday, and I normally don't have videos on Mondays. So thank you again for joining, liking, subscribing, loving, commenting the works. The more you like, the more you love, the more you comment, the more you'll see me, because I'll pop up on your feed. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you get the notification, hit the notification button so you don't miss what's coming up. But I am a Tuesday, Thursday girl at this time. And once in a blue moon, you get something else or things get swapped. But Tuesdays and Thursdays are my days, whether it's a reveal or a journal with me or a flip through, whatever it may be. Those are my days that I try to put out there. So always keep your eyes out. It's Tuesday. Go, oh, wait, does she have a video? But if you're notified, it's much easier. I do come up on your feed, and you're not guessing and searching through all of your lovely people, because I know I'm one of many. But I appreciate that I'm one of many, and I really, really cannot thank you enough for subscribing and following, and continue to do so. And hopefully you'll pass me on for those little things, if nothing else, for my digital reveals, so that you know what's in my Etsy shop as I'm, as a graphic designer, what I'm creating, where all these little scraps come from, and all the kits that they belong to. So I appreciate it. I love you all. This is up in the Etsy, up for sale. If it works for you, if it's something that catches your fancy and you feel are great gifts, please do so. Please buy them. I do only ship in the U.S. right now. Just too much going on to ship outside of that. At some point, if we ever get to where we're just heavily handed, all handmade and nothing else, then we'll work on getting into the international stuff. But at this time, we don't have enough going on to balance out international issues with what we make. So if you're in the U.S. and this works for you and you love and you would like to have it for a friend or family member, please go take a look at it and purchase it. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me when you do. And there are still Valentine journals up. There's still the Heroes in Retro, I believe, up. So if you're looking for a journal and something different for a friend, family member, or yourself, take a peek. It's worth looking at. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.